Hello everybody, it's Mr. Leafy back here again, and I'm going on a total recoding of the custom spawners. I've customized the mobs, and I'll show you what I mean here exactly. They're all new mobs, they're not the original mobs. So if you were to do like slash kill all entities and say type equals cow, it will not kill the cow because it's not it's an actual custom entity. This makes it easier so I can control things better with these spawners and for future updates as well. So today is kind of special. The reason is because I'm going to go through a whole bunch more commands, a whole bunch more instructions than what I did in my first video, which was pretty terrible. I'll be honest with you on that. Okay, as you noticed here, I've already fixed a few details. The iron golem was having issues in the past updates, stuff like that. But this whole recoding does fix all the mobs, and I can actually edit those later if we need to fix anything. But from what I can tell so far, it should be working correctly. Do note that I did take away the blaze burning in the water, so that way you can actually do overworld kind of farms. And all right, so and once again the Iron Golem can actually do like you normally would in, making your Iron Golem farms and all that. Now, everything does spawn on top of the mob spawner just for convenience, and you can easily set it up in any new type of farm you want to make with it. And I'll show you an example here in a little bit, but I want to go over first kind of what you can do command-wise with clearing, like as of admin. So the first thing you need to notice is that right here, if I were to do kill all entities, it just kills it once, but the stack is still there. And let's say you wanted to kill them all again, you're like, oh man, let's say you have so many spawners in one area and it just keeps making new stacks and you just want to get rid of the stacks, right? Well, one way to get rid of one stack is through this stack remover tool. I call it the stack killer, and essentially it's a new weapon, whatever like that. It's added like that so that way it's not overpowered if you ever want to like have it in your shop. So it helps you control the mob. So you just kill the mob and it kills the whole stack. Now it doesn't give you the actual loot for the whole stack. It just helps you control it as maybe a player, and you can actually craft this tool as well. So if you want to do kind of like a real gameplay, you want to work with it, I don't know, skyblock, whatever you want to do, this gives you the ability to move the stuck stack rather than trying to kill each one individually, right? That'll take forever. And if you have too many spawners, it's just going to keep going and going and going. Now, even if you had, let's say, taken all your things down and you're like, great, now I have a whole bunch of more stacks to deal with, you can actually do something else, which I just barely added to this new version. We'll call this version 1.9, 2.0, whatever. I was going to add more mobs, but I decided to kind of switch it up real quickly, recode the whole thing before I actually added the new mobs. Now, if I do function, it'll give you a few different commands you can actually do. Now, don't worry about these other kind of function things here. All you need to worry about is clear loot and spawn, reset mobs. So what you're going to do, if this is to reset everything in the game of where your chunks are loaded, okay? So if you have so many stacks of different types in one area and you just don't want to have to kill them all after removing your spawners, then you can actually do function reset mobs, you press enter, and it kills them all, right? Obviously you got spawners here and they'll keep respawning. And these are level 16 spawners, and that's kind of how fast it spawns in really quick, right? You do start at level 1, which takes a little while, and you can upgrade those spawners. And how you do that, actually let me show this command real quick. So you can do, so as you notice here, you killed them all, but now you have all this loot dropped. You don't want to keep it laggy, right? So you have so many stacks, and you want to prevent that lag. So I've made a custom command for that. So it's called clear loot. Oops. Function clear loot, and it removes all the loot from these mobs specifically. Okay, so if I wanted to say kill them all over again. So even if you just do normal kill, right, you're gonna get the loot and all that. Let's do it maybe another time here, or let's just do the function reset mobs, kills them all again, right? Got all that extra loot. Let's say I don't want to. I dropped my very valuable sword down there, and I decided to do a function clear loot. Then it will not take away the sword, even though it's an item. I had to manually add these items to the function, so that way it would not remove every item in the game, just everything in the chunks loaded with those loot drops, essentially. Okay. All right. So, like I was saying earlier, is you can actually craft everything. So you can craft all the spawners, and let's go through that real quick. So I have to go into game mode S. So we go in here, we go to spawner. As you can see, we got different types of spawners, okay? Now, you can actually go in and edit these yourself if you'd like to. The reason why I'm not going to change from this too much is because it does give you the customization options. You just do it yourself, essentially. Of course, we're going to add 4 more spawners. It's going to be the Enderman, the Wither Skeleton, the Slime, and the Magma Cube. So I'll add 4 more. Once I get this one released, we'll add 4 more here in the next update. So that way you guys can have, you know, the best gameplay ever, whether it's a skyblock or if it's your own, you know, little realm you got going with your friends, okay? So we got all these things. Now, obviously the blaze is going to be expensive. The iron golem I made a little more expensive because I feel like that's a little more overpowered. Of course, you can mess with these as you'd like, okay? So that's how you do that. Now, let's say you have a level 16 spawner here. I do not have Silk Touch enabled on this. Essentially what that means is you can pretty much break any block with your hand and drop it, so it's pretty much dummy proof, and you're not going to have complaints with people breaking their spawners. So one thing to know is you can actually make these back down to level 1s. Now I gotta some ugly. Hold on 1 second. Let me clear my inventory real quick. It's kind of messy. Okay, there we go. All right, so you got the stack remover tool for individual stacks. You got the commands to kill everything. You got the clear all the loot they have, and then you got the spawner. This is gonna be the stone cutter. So now I did the stone cutter just so I could actually allow crafting of the spawners in the crafting table. Okay, I couldn't add these into the crafting table as well for cutting them, so I had to put it into here as a stone cutter. Now, any level works, but I just have a level 16, and you can convert these all down to level 1s. Okay, as you can see here, now they're all level 1s, and if I want to upgrade them again, I just got to go right click, and with them in my hand again, all level 1s only. You can't stack a level 6 and a level 7 together. You can't stack a level 15 or whatever with a level 16. It just won't work because the max is 16. And even if it's underneath that quantity, maybe I'll update that in the future. It'll stack up to 16. But for now, we just have to be level 1s, okay? So as you see here, it'll tell you level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to spam up just a little bit. And then once you get to max level, as you can see here, level 16. Now, let me break this one more time. I'll show you real quick. So if I went back and cut this again, and then let's say I stacked up to like 6 or whatever. If you right click without anything in your hand, you can see what the spawner level is currently. So if I have a level 6 here and a level 3 here, I have level 3 and a level 6. So that way you can kind of manage your spawners together, right? So I'm going to break these. Cool, cool. All right, so that's perfect right there. As you can see, I have a lot more here. Now, something I wanted to show you guys with the mobs. I did actually lower their hearts by just a little bit on each type of mob. So that way, because you're going to have, you can stack up to 1,000 mobs of this type. And I figured if you're going to get to that point, I might as well make it easier to kill them. Now, in regards to killing them, the downside is I did reduce the XP experience gained with these. That way you're not going to get 100 levels in 5 seconds and it's going to reduce that down probably to 25 levels in about 5 seconds. So it still gives you experience in some way. I'm still debating whether I want to keep that, but it's like the minimal amount of experience you can get. Let's see what I get here. As you see here, I got barely anything, right? Versus when you're doing some other animals, normally it can give you more, possibly. I might lower it if I can, but just minimal amount of XP just to kind of keep it not as overpowered. Okay, what else? What else? What else? All right, I have netherite, sharpness 6. As you can tell, the better sword you have, the quicker you'll kill the animals. So you can insta-kill pretty much everything other than a iron golem. Iron golem I put down, I think normally they're 50, but I have it at 20. And then you got these guys. It's a 2-hitter on that one as well. I think he's also like a 20 or something. So this is perfect for those that have like better enchantments and the realms and all that. Insta-kill zombies with this max sword, whatever. Anyway, so it's pretty cool what you can do there, right? And obviously they're all still mobs. They won't attack you or anything like that. They should be able to jump, and they're pretty much passive still mobs. Okay, so that's pretty much that. I'm trying to think what else I need to tell you guys. Other than that, when like I said earlier, we're going to be adding more to it, but this does fix a lot of issues you guys were having in the past with the other versions. I would totally ditch those and go right to this version just because it does fix the mob issue with other mobs being around. So I'm going to go to a spawner or a spawn egg. Let's go actually create a mode. Game mode C. Let me get a spawn egg. Let's say a cow, for instance. Let's say we have a whole bunch of cows. Okay. Obviously, the more you have, the more laggy it's going to get, right? Alright, so obviously that cow is not the same as these cows because it's a totally different entity. And, whoa, they're escaping. So if I wanted to kill these cows, right, I could kill all the cows, kill all entities, cow, type equals cow. Oh, I totally botched that. So, kill all entities, type equals cow, right? And then it's not going to kill this guy. So they're obviously not linked in any way. Now, the only thing I have to figure out in the future is ways to have the same stack together. So if I were to have, obviously you have one stack going right now. Maybe in the future I'll add it so that way once you get to the max stack, or I'll lower the stack amount, that you can create a new stack right next to it. And then if you kill that stack, it won't kill the stack next to it. Now there's some issues, like if I have a cow here and I kill him, sometimes he will, the other way around. Let's try this again. I might have fixed it actually. But it was at one point it was making it so it'd kill your stack if you killed a normal cow next to it, right? So it looks like that's actually fixed with this version because we're using different entities. So there are a lot of better fixes on this. You guys did say something about still mobs. It took a minute to get those together, but it's working pretty well. Can't say. Oh, one thing I did want to share with you guys, which is actually pretty cool. Let's say you have some wolves. So let's say wolf. This is a good way to probably create a what do you call those, farm. So let's say you have a wolf and you have these mobs here, right? They are labeled as the bad mobs, so that way they'll target them. So as you see here, they're going to target the skeleton, and I might need to fix these if they're not going to target them, but for now they're targeting the skeleton only, it looks like. But what I'll do is take a look at that real quick. But you should be able to constantly farm this, get some hoppers down below, so that way they're always getting killed. And they're going to get the loot because experience, I'm not sure if the experience will come through with the, unless they're tamed maybe, but you can take a look at that or a gander at that if you want to. But regardless, yeah, so far that is going to be our 2.0, way better spawners, and hope that helps you guys out a little bit. If there's anything I missed, I'll put it in the next video for the next update. So thank you very much.